always going to be a best.
Welcome to talking about ESO for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, they'll come to World of Warcraft and assume that they can do that in WoW. Blizzard is not that complex of a company. They make things come in 3 flavors in your talents. The right choice for raiding, the AoE choice for dungeons, and the PvP choice. There are no other options. There are no other builds. There is very rarely will you run into a talent tier that actually has 3 compelling options that legitimately makes you think, I don't know, maybe I want this one today and this one tomorrow. Very rarely does that happen.
I'd say Paladin's one of the only classes that has that, Rhett.
It's funny that you mentioned this because this is.
It's funny you mentioned Retribution Paladin because I was just about to bring up Ret Paladin as an example of why this is so static. The level 110 tree, right, or the 100, yep. The final talent tier for Ret.
Yeah.
There's only one option.
Oh, for sure. Some of the other ones have options though. There are different styles of.
If you are doing any PvE, you always take Crusade. Oh. And if you are doing any PvP, you almost universally take Divine Purpose. Not because Divine Purpose is good, but because Crusade doesn't synergize well with people kiting you.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that tier. I'm talking like the whole blinding light into your Divine Storms and shit like that. That's a style of PvP as well. It's just not how I play PvP.
I mean, you had a choice there between Repentance, Fist of Justice, and Blinding Light. Repentance is unusable in PvP by and large, and Fist of Justice is kind of a pretty safe go-to. More stuns, more better.
Yeah, I use it, yeah.
Blinding Light is extremely situational, and frankly, I would say the majority of them probably don't take it.
It's just a combo that not a lot of it, some people do, where you basically Blinding Light, and then you have obviously Divine Purpose, and you get Divine Storm spamming going on, and then if they break that, or if it breaks from somebody else or they trinket it, you stun them after that and continue on with your rotation. I mean, it's a decent option, but I like having more stuns.
I can't imagine that would work well in 3v3 arena when someone else is doing damage that isn't right. Like,
not if you unless you're crazy coordinated. No, it wouldn't work. But like, it's more for BGs, I'm sure. Just having fun. Just something
even worse there, right? Like, unless you're off by yourself and there's no.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, it's a fuck with people type of thing. It's a ganking style of play, and it's not going to work with a team.
I think that those words are being a bit generous to it. It's a niche style of play that is niche. If you want to pronounce it that way. It's very specific. It's really meant for random battlegrounds. I can't imagine you'd be the only person at a base in RBGs. Do Paladins even go to RBGs these days? They still have a summary ban on that?
I think they are in there now, actually.
Sure about that?
Can you explain what exactly is wrong with the Ranged Demon Hunter build?
It's not a ranged build.
So fundamentally, what you are trying to do is not going to kill people. Like, it is going to take you a decade to kill someone just throwing glaives, just fellblading, and just killing them with I-beam. I-beam is not good single target damage. It is a 2+ target cleave attack. It is not meant to be used single target. You are doing things that are all cleave AoE, so they don't do good single target. Bloodlet is okay, but you're taking first blood, right? Or bloodlet. What are you doing? Does your Throglaive put a bleed on them or not? Penny?
His pride has been fractured.
No, sorry, I just muted.
Yes, your Throglaive puts a bleed on people.
Yes, it does. And slows them.
Here's my next question. Do you roll with a shorter stun duration or 2 charges of Throglaive?
2 charges of Throglaive.
Okay, well, at least you're making that decision. I was half expecting some other answer. I'll just be honest with you. I was waiting for it. But Bloodlet is okay single target damage. That's about the only redeeming quality to your build. Because I-beam is just ignorable single target damage. It is absolutely god awful. And Fellblade is cool, and it does decent damage. But that When I say it does decent damage, don't misunderstand that. You wouldn't kill someone with just Fellblading them to death, especially because you're not in melee range to reset the cooldown of it. It's just in terms of a charge gap closer, it does like 300, 400k, it's pretty decent. But you wouldn't kill people off that. It'd be very hard to. Take a very long time. The attracting features of Demon Hunter is that you have a rage mechanic, Demonic Fury, that is emptied by a spammable dump, Chaos Strike, and Annihilate that hits multiple times over the course of pressing the button. So you're getting a lot of actions per minute that just, it rapidly chunks people's health down. It hits really hard. You're not playing the Demon Hunter to its strengths. You're playing the Demon Hunter's novelty against people. That it is a highly mobile class with several acrobatic and ranged options to prevent you from escaping it in melee range. But you're using it to stay away from people, which is a viable strategy in scenarios like the Ret Paladin has just popped wings. I don't want to be there. So you vengeful retreat back and start throwing glaives at him and fell rush off into the distance. You are now 120 yards away, and he can't do anything. You're burning up time on his DPS cooldown. That is totally well played, well done. You're using the class really well. And you're using it as a ranged class in this scenario. But as soon as those wings are down, you metamorphosis back in on top of him, and then beat the shit out of him. It's a melee class. It's a melee class with a lot of mobility. Its survivability comes from its mobility, which means moving in and out of melee range. You're just trying to use it as a ranged class, and that's not how it's intended to play. More than that, it isn't just that it's not intended to play that way. Fundamentally, you aren't really playing very well.
I'm out of range.
Right.
You're just not going to kill people faster than they can kill you at that distance. You want to be there. You want to be at that ranged, that more than 20 yards away ranged, when you're confident you can create like 60 yards of distance, and that you don't want to be in melee range dumping damage, right? Those are the two checkboxes. Do I want to be in melee range with the Fury Warrior with Recklessness? No. I'm leaving. Do you want to be in melee range with the Ret Paladin with Avenging Wrath? Not really. Do you want to be in range with the Ret Paladin when he no longer has Divine Shield and no longer has Avenging Wrath? Yes, you want to be on top of his face.
Right.
Plus, how are you going to kill people with, like, Fury of the Illidari when you're harvesting abilities? You drop those glaives at your feet.
I'll show you in a minute.
Like, it's just not, what you're doing is just not a viable playstyle.